And what they're going to do is buy Treasury securities. Well, I've been telling people in this program and my subscribers that for 4 months, it is my belief that the Treasury has been selling Treasury bonds and bills to the Federal Reserve, which creates money out of thin air and buys them, gives the money to the Treasury, and they call that monetization, very inflationary, immediately. And the Fed would then either lend out those securities or they could slowly sell them into the market. And that's monetization as well. So that's highly inflationary. And that has made gold just move from $888 to $957, as you've just said. Actually, it shouldn't have been down there in the first place, but that's neither here nor there. That was the move. Getting to the question, in the last 2 days, and this is not a final figure, but for Wednesday and Thursday, the dollar on the USDX, which is a dollar index, 6 other currencies versus the dollar. Now, the high was 89 something. We came out and said that the dollar had peaked at 86.50. We were a little bit off, but we were close. And it's down 4.35 points here just recently, trading in a range of around 84, down from 89. So I think the back of the dollar has been broken, and the next stop will be further down. How much further and how quickly remains to be seen. But the Fed is going to have to continue to do that. I mean, we'll look at $2.25 trillion easy just for fiscal, and so the Treasury needs the money, and people who lend money to the Treasury by buying these bonds, notes, bills, they notice that monetization is going down. Inflation is eating up the dollar. Real inflation right now is 9%, not 2% like the government says. And it's going to go back up again. Only this time I think we're looking at 20 or 30% because we're going to have to do that over and over again, this monetization process. It never ends. And so that's why people buy gold and silver.
Now, the other thing that you talk about that has been noted and other people aren't talking about, Russia, they're putting tariffs on cars, farm machinery. EU is subsidizing dairy. Brazil, India, steel. Mexico just put on a bunch of new tariffs in retaliation for the not allowing the trucks into the U.S. They're renegotiating the Colombia, South Korea, and the Panama treaties. It looks like globalization, the world treaties that they've been making, which have all been bad for the U.S. and other countries, too. It's only been good for the multinational corporations. The World Trade Organization, NAFTA, all of these, CAFTA, all of these are in great danger right now. And that's something that needs to be for the U.S. to bring back our economy. We need tariffs, don't we?
We certainly do, and we should have never abandoned them in the first place. This free trade, globalization, offshoring, and outsourcing, that whole movement came in 1962 with GATT, General Administrative Tariffs, and it became WTO, the World Trade Organization, in '86. And we put ourselves in a position where we just simply cannot compete.
Now, the other issue that I think is so critical is what's happened to the home markets. It just announced today that refinancing is up 30%. New homes financing 1.5%. And I think it's very telling, a report that you have on Phoenix, because in Phoenix, home sales surged in February. Foreclosures, though, outpaced the home sales. Home sales, 4,215 resales. They're up 57%. And foreclosures are outpacing home sales. The price is off. $133,000 was average price. Now it was $233,000 last year. Way off. Now, I understand a lot of Canadians and people like that are buying homes. They're having bargain basement prices, but it's not over. The prices are going to keep going down, don't you think?
Yes. What they're trying to do here through the government is only going to work temporarily, politically expediency. And it all depends on the timing, but I believe that 2 to 3 years down the line, that deflation will take over, and it'll be just over. The whole thing is going to collapse.
So if you're thinking about buying a home in Phoenix, probably don't, right?
Right, I would wait 2 years at least. And, why go and buy a home when you can take the assets that you were going to put in the home and buy gold and silver-related assets, and perhaps in the next 2 or 3 years make 100 or 2 or 3 or 400% on your money, and then you can go pay cash for the house.
Absolutely. One of the other things that we've noticed is that Citigroup and Bank of America, and you talk about this, are both came out with these big splashing things. We're profitable. Why are they getting loans?
Yes. And so, if they're getting loans, they're not profitable. It's Mickey Mouse bookkeeping. They're lying, and they're doing it, within the accounting structure. But what's coming along is a revised FASB, and that's the financial accounting rules. And they're going to have to mark their securities to the market rather than mark them to what they think the market is, because there's very little market for those kind of securities. And
so the loans of the money of Citigroup and Bank of America, neither one that profitable. They're both lying. More when we get back on Erskine Overnight. Big surprise, a bank lying, huh? People ask me every now and then, they say, how come you know all this stuff? Are you just that smart? And I say, yeah, I am. No, when I say no. I have people like Robert Chapman on, and you can be ahead of the curve because we just give you a little inkling of what's going on in the International Forecaster. We don't give you the story behind the story. I do what I can do, and Mr. Chapman does what he can do, but if you really want to know the entire story, there may be a couple of stories in here, or a number of stories. There's always things I can't get to with Robert Chapman, but you can get all the stories by subscribing, and you'll get it twice a week to the International Forecaster. TheInternationalForecaster.com. That's his website. Go up to it, TheInternationalForecaster.com. It is the best. There is no question about it. What he tells you is you can take it to the bank. Well, you don't want to take it to the bank. It's better than that. So it's the International Forecaster, and you can call him, and you really want to get it. The best way to get it is to have him email it twice a week, and they run about 20 to 30 pages an issue. Give him a call, 877-479-8178. Give them a call. You've been thinking about it. It's springtime now. It's time to refresh. Get this so that you will know what's going on. It's more important than ever. 877-479-8178. 877, write this down. We'll give it to you at the end of the program also. 479-8178. You'll send them a free copy, won't you?
yes, that's correct. Either hard copy or email copy.
If you're out of the country, you got to get the email copy. It just takes too long to get the hard copy. If you're in the country, try to get the email copy. It's just so much quicker and so much easier than the hard copy. You figure the post office, another 2 or 3 day delay. And on some of these issues, when he writes them, they're hot. They are right there, right today. Now, life insurance. A lot of us have life insurance, and we're kind of wondering, how safe is our life insurance policy? We're looking at that for our family. If anything happens to us, we're also looking at it for burial expenses and in some cases a lot of other things to use life insurance for. How safe are these companies, Mr. Chapman?
Well, I think there's a number of them that have financial problems. But if you look at the policies themselves, the universal life and other kinds of life policies and annuities, you'll find that they're invested in stocks and bonds. And the stocks have been going down for 21 months. And the losses, they range anywhere from 25 to 50%. And that's not very good. And I think we've got quite a bit of ways to go on the downside yet. And if I'm right, then maybe some of these portfolios in these insurance companies may fall again. And so we may be looking at 65 or 70% losses. And